Hello. So today, I've just done my morning training, as I mentioned in the last Pep Talk. At the minute, I'm using a triple shot for my training, so I'm sort of a little bit sweaty and shambolic, but in a good way. So, um, to follow on from my previous chat about There Is Only Now, I wanted to pick up on autoregulation, and I'm giving myself like 5 minutes for this, maybe 10 at a push, but probably 5. So, autoregulation, Ryan Hurst talks about it a lot. We are a bit GMB themed at the moment. The idea of autoregulation was not invented by GMB, but they have really defined it beautifully. Essentially, any work, any training that you do, and I am sort of talking to normal people here as opposed to athletes who have their own set of rules that they work by. And I dare say that their coaches teach this too, because what you don't want is exhaustion. Auto-regulation. Auto means yourself, autonomous, managing yourself. Regulation is regulation, the ability to regulate yourself. So when you are coming to your practice, and I'm using a really broad sense of practice, whether it's going for a long walk, whether it's going out for a bike ride, or you've got a really busy day, you might be gardening, or whether it's coming to your mat or into the gym or into the pool or wherever you train. Learning to regulate yourself and how you approach your movement will make it better in the long run. There can be a bit of a misunderstanding that you have to push, you have to go to failure every time. You need to feel absolutely exhausted and sweaty. And I've had people start training with me in this studio who, as they were leaving, would say, "But I will get hot and sweaty next week, won't I?" And I was like, "No, it's not likely." And that's not the way I train people. Sometimes people get hot and sweaty. That's mostly to do with their own body temperature than it is to do with what I'm teaching and how I train. The reason is, firstly, because I deal in strength more than cardio. So the heart rate stuff comes out of strength, and that tends to make a person get a sticky funk rather than a hot, sweaty bod. But it's about understanding, being present, as I talked about in the previous chat. It's about being present and thinking about, as you train, what am I doing? Am I doing it well? Is it serving me? Am I in pain and discomfort? And how do I feel about it? You can start that by going, can I breathe? Because being able to breathe is essential. If you're training so hard that you can't breathe for any reason, whether it's panic and anxiety or whether it's physical aspect, you're working too hard and you're not taking enough rests. Then you can go, do I feel terrible? And if I feel terrible, is my confidence dropping? Then do I need to change it? Are the movements I'm doing of high quality? And in this case, does it matter? So when you start to explore those questions, you will be able to respond to them appropriately. And the answer should always be the thing that is doing the most for your body. So if you're feeling pain or discomfort, it's changing the exercise to one that does not hurt you or create discomfort in your body. If you can't breathe, it's dialing it back so that you can. That doesn't mean you don't need to work. It just means that you maybe need to alternate. So in my training this morning, I changed the pace through each set of the movements because I wanted the energy, but I didn't want my heart rate to go so high that it was unsustainable. It's conditioning, it's high heart rate. My fitness is a little low at the moment, and also my heart rate is up in general day to day. So I have to manage that. I could ignore it and push and feel like shit at the other end, or I could feel really good and go, actually, yeah, for a minute, for this 30 seconds, just stepping rather than jumping, or just doing fewer reps on everything, or holding a position is better for me. So it's picking the thing that works and experimenting and playing with it, and bringing a spirit of, this movement is in service of me, not just keeping my body healthy, but also keeping me feeling happy. And I want to come away from it feeling really pleased, self-righteously smug, so I can pat myself on the back for doing it, uplifted because of the natural uplift of any kind of movement, the feeling of blood circulation, the feeling of oxygen, having moved your body and freed up a lot of tension, especially if it's in the morning or the evening, having freed up a lot of tension. If you're outdoors, the feeling of being out in the sun, prioritize those. So autoregulation. Don't switch your brain off when you come to your mat. Switch it into looking after myself and doing it well, self-coaching mode. Make your movements feel the best you can make them feel. And that means choosing a version of the movement that you can do at its best, right? Or do less of one that's slightly more challenging, but only if you can actually do it. An effective challenge is only one that you can actually do it. It will build your confidence. If it's something you can't do, then it has the opposite effect. So if you want to read more about autoregulation as covered by GMB and Ryan over at GMB and the others there, you can just go and dig it up, but I'll put the link to some of his resources in the notes. I nearly said show notes. In the description below. But it's a very simple concept. Some people find it challenging to put into action, but it's practice. Like everything, you try something else, you find your own way that suits you, and it's auto-regulation. It happens in the moment. So every time you do it, it feels different. You can't fail. The only way you can fail is by failing to try to do it at all. And I can't think of anything more important. So get on with it. Auto-regulate. Next time you come to your mat, next time you're doing something for the sake of movement, next time you're doing anything in your life, take that time, auto-regulate, check in with yourself. How does this feel? How am I feeling? Is this okay? Could it be better? Can I change it to be better? As always, if you would like to contact me or talk about any of this stuff, you can do it through the website, or you can find me over at the GMB website. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.